Good luck with that. Now, with news that 6 out of 10 of us lack inspiration in the kitchen, end up cooking the same meals 4 times a week, Georgina Hayden is here to help add some diversity to your dinners, and it is an absolute midweek cracker.
Oh, thanks so much.
Well,
yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had a good moussaka.
What, really?
Even a moussaka.
I've just never had one. I don't even know what...
Have you not had a moussaka?
I've never had a moussaka before, ever.
No. Oh, right. OK, right. Let me explain to you roughly what it's about.
Yes, yes.
It is like a Greek version of a lasagna. If you like a lasagna,
love a lasagna,
and you like a one-dish meal, and something that's all encased, you know, all in one pan, this is for you.
You're ticking all my boxes.
Yeah. So, you know, lasagna, you've got your pasta, you've got your mince, and then you've got your white sauce. And a moussaka is like a similar... It's a Greek version, but instead of the pasta, we've got vegetables. So it's a great way of adding more veg.
That's good for the kids. Right, so what's gone in so far? Tell me.
We have got... I've been cooking some onions. They're lovely and sweet and sticky. And then we're adding our flavours. So we've got cinnamon, which is a really classic thing, and that's what sort of gives it that Greekness. Yeah, and that's the cinnamon. And then you've got oregano.
Cinnamon's a big thing in Greek cooking,
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, really big. Obviously, you know, lots of people think of cinnamon buns and sweet dishes, but cinnamon and savoury food is really popular.
We had a bit in my bolognese.
Do you?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, so we're making a bolognese. We're basically making a ragu here. So we've got our onions, cinnamon and oregano, and then we're adding our mince. I've gone for half beef, half pork. Okay. So just because I like the balance, you know, pork hasn't got as much of a punch. I like to sort of have a bit of beef in there, but not too much. But you can just do one or the other.
Is pork softer?
Yeah, I just don't think it's as punchy. You know, beef, if it's all beef, that's totally fine too.
Is it to do with fat content as well? Or not?
Yeah, fat content, flavour. But honestly, if you don't eat one or the other, you can just use. That's totally fine. And so we want to fry that off. We've got all our spices. I'm going to season it up.
Oh, my God,
and then
this is so good.
We're going to get that nice and brown. So and the tomato...
She's incapable of cooking anything other than fantastic.
Just
so bless you. That's so kind. Well, we've got some puree. Well, hopefully...
Your heart soars when you see Georgina.
Thank you. But you know what? This is such a classic thing. I'm going to do a few little tweaks, hopefully, like, you know, some new information for people that might know moussaka. We've got tomato puree. Now, the thing if tomato puree is you want to fry it for a few minutes, cook it off, and then... we would get that nice and brown. We're going to add some wine, and we're going to cook the wine away, so you're not going to have that winey flavour. You don't have to worry about kids or people that don't drink. And then we will add some more cinnamon, a stick, some bay, and then your passata. And the key thing here is, just like your ragu, like your bolognese, you want to leave that ticking away, cooking for an hour. Now, the beauty of this is you can use that on pasta, you can use that in this moussaka, you can use that in so many situations. You can freeze it.
Right.
You can make this ahead and you can have it at Christmas.
Do you know, what does tomato puree give you that tomatoes don't give? So if you're adding tomatoes, what's the benefit of the puree?
It's so intense. So actually, sometimes we don't even add the passata. We just have the puree, and it's so concentrated. Yeah. It's really, you know, you've got tube, it lasts for ages, and
it comes to life with stock or wine or something.
Exactly. Right. And you just want to fry it off, and then that's it. And actually, sometimes, like I said, we don't even use, like, the passata. You can just get away with the puree.
The tubes drive me mad, though. I wish I had a different option. I'd like just...
Well, you can get to...
You know that you get to the end and I'm like, I can't get any more out, but I know there's some in there and I don't want to be defeated by the tube.
Snip it. It's like makeup. You know, when you get to the end of your makeup tube.
I feel like they just need to start doing purees in a jar. Just get me the teaspoon in and I'm done, you know?
Just get in there. Yeah. So what we do now is the veg element. Historically, we would fry this, but obviously not that healthy. My gran does it, delicious, but not that healthy. So I roast my veg. Aubergine potatoes are key. I've got some courgettes there because I like to add veg wherever I can, especially with the kids. And you want to layer it up. So veg, half your ragu, veg, and then the rest of your ragu. So it will look like this.
Right.
I mean, I'd just eat that.
I know. Well, this is... Yeah, but then we add the cheese. So you put all your veg on top.
The crispy cheese is the one.
The crispy cheese. Now, before we put the white sauce, I'm talking about white sauce here, we're going to flavour our white sauce. The white sauce for moussaka is slightly different to your regular bechamel.
Georgina, would moussaka recipes change in terms of your location within Greece or Cyprus or the islands or whatever? So would you get a different recipe in different places? Yeah,
a bit like a lasagna. It would probably change a little bit. I've got the cheese, so we're going to put cheese in it. I've got a tip here, which I don't know if they do in Greece. My AR from Cyprus does it. I've actually done a classic white sauce, so butter, flour, milk, but I've added some baking powder into the base, and it just makes it really light. And that's something my gran's always done.
And what was that you put in nutmeg?
Bit of nutmeg.
I love nutmeg.
And then, yeah, I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Such a good... I think it's so underrated.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's good in everything.
It's good and yeah, exactly. And eggs, that's the other key thing. So we're putting some eggs in our white sauce. Now, I think that's because with moussaka, you don't want to serve it when it's piping hot. Like a lasagna, you want it to set a little bit.
OK,
And the eggs help the white sauce set. So we're whisking all of that together. And I think depending, like what you're saying, Dermot, where you are in Greece or the islands, different cheeses. So halloumi, always.
Yeah.
This is
I love
gefalodiri.
hearing you say it like that.
I know.
I'm like,
I was like, what are you saying?
Super Essex. Halloumi. You know,
My husband's the same. He's like, what? But yeah, even moussaka, they were like, what are you making today?
Yeah.
Moussaka.
No. No, you are right.
Halloumi.
We are wrong.
So with halloumi, does halloumi melt down well?
Yeah, it does. It does.
that's a good
Not in the same way that, like, a sort of melty, cheddary kind of cheese would.
Are you using halloumi there?
This is gefalodiri. So this is a bit like a Greek...
That's what you thought it was.
That's the other one that you thought. This is a bit like a Greek pecorino. So if you go to the supermarkets, you can use a pecorino, a parmesan, and then we put some in the white sauce. We've got some on top like that, and that is it. And then I say that is it. It's a bit of stages, but it's really fun to make.
Honestly, it is so delicious. And do you know, like with the... Because obviously this is my first moussaka. I want to say it right. How do I say it right?
Yeah, moussaka.
Moussaka.
Yeah.
This is my first moussaka.
Oh,
and
I love that.
It feels like less naughty.
Yeah.
Like a lasagna is like
interesting.
you've got the sheets of pasta and it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
Afterwards, like I feel like
Pretty light.
Veg,
It's light.
you get that naughty feeling, but it's not as heavy.
And we're all trying to eat more veg all the time, aren't we? And
good for kids.
Good for kids, good for everyone. It's a family.
Got a little
crowd
parmigiana
thing.
about it as well, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
oh my
Because of
gosh,
the
yeah.
aubergine.
I'm a big fan of parmigiana.
so good, isn't it?
I just think, look at that, and the longer you leave it to set,
Georgina,
the
that's
better
a
the
work of
layers you
art.
get.
It's just incredible.
Make it and then leave it for half an hour. It's perfect if you're entertaining because you don't want to
Tell you what, it's like a newborn baby's turned up. We're getting oohs and ahs in our
I
ears
can see
now.
we've got the JLS boys in the corner. Do you want... JB wants my plate. I can see.
Absolutely.
I'm bringing it over,
Yes,
Jay.
please.
I'm bringing it over. So good.
Georgina, just in terms of finishing that off,
Yes.
is that under the grill or is that in the oven?
That's just the oven, so it's had anything up to 45 to an hour, 45 minutes an hour, and then you just want to leave it to rest for half an hour.
It's crisp to perfection.
Yeah.
Oh, right, well...
Told you, incapable of cooking
Yeah.
that.
You were right.
thank you
You
so
banged
much.
on the
Wouldn't even know how to if
money.
she
Right,
tried.
if you fancy giving Georgina's dish a go at home, the full recipe is on the This Morning app.